Hello and welcome, I'm BluenoseLJ. Transfer news for Everton on the 27th of August 2020. And today the news is again continuation of the fact that yesterday we got linked with a move for James Rodriguez of Real Madrid. Now, we have been linked with James Rodriguez in the past and nothing has materialized, but I think this time something is a little bit different. Obviously, we have Carlo Ancelotti. James Rodriguez has played for Ancelotti at Real Madrid and at Bayern Munich. So I think there's a connection between the player and the manager. So I think that this time there may be something a little bit more in the rumor than simply just paper talk. Now, I think the stumbling block will be on if we can agree a fee. James Rodriguez is 29 years old. He's in his last year of his contract at Real Madrid. So obviously he would be a free agent next year. So I can't imagine Real Madrid would want to let him go for free, but obviously they will want to recoup some money if they can. And obviously that is then just between Real Madrid and Everton to hammer out a deal that suits both clubs. I think the biggest stumbling block would be the wages of James Rodriguez. I understand that he's on something like £200,000 a week at Real Madrid. So whether Everton are willing to go to something like that or whether Real Madrid would have to pay some of the wages, I don't know. But it's exciting. I think that he's a really big name. And obviously, most people remember James Rodriguez from the 2014 World Cup, where he kind of made his name. But actually, looking at his stats for Real Madrid and for Bayern Munich, he's been a regular for both clubs, where he was on loan at Bayern Munich for 2 years. He seems to score at least 7 goals every season, and he creates as well. So quite often he's into the same kind of figures in assists. Last year he kind of got frozen out at Real Madrid, so he played a lot less last year. So it looks like that he's not going to be playing for Real Madrid. So all of this is kind of working in Everton's favour, I think, with a possible move for James Rodriguez and trying to get a deal that suits us. But you look at the figures for James Rodriguez, and yeah, he scores goals, he creates goals. I think that he would be a real asset. The name, just the signing a player that has that kind of name shows intent of Everton. We're still linked with Doucoure. We're still linked with Allan. That we're going to sign Allan. I've said this many, many times. We are going to sign Allan. I know that he was named in the Napoli squad for the friendlies. Allan will come to Goodison. I literally have no doubts about this. There are things that are taking time, but Allan is coming. Doucoure, I think Doucoure will come as well. I think Watford are playing hardball and they want to get as much money as they can. But eventually, I think that they will concede. I think the deal is going to be somewhere around about 25 million. Maybe it increase with some add-ons, but I think that next season's midfield, which is where we really, really need to, improve our midfield from last season. I'm not overly concerned. I would like to see a centre back, but I'm not overly concerned at this precise moment. We definitely need to sort that midfield out. Allan, Doucoure, Rodriguez, that's a really exciting midfield. We've got Gomez as well. We've still obviously got Bernard. Let's hope that next season, if he stays, he can find some form. I think with with that kind of midfield, it would be hard for a player to not perform well when you're playing alongside players like this. Obviously, Balassi is back. I'm not overly sold on him, but we've got Balassi, we've got Iwobi, who let's hope next season has a better season than he did this season. Walcott, I think that there's a possibility that we might still sign a right-sided winger, and we may end up getting rid of one or two players. I doubt very much if that would be Iwobi and Bernard, but it could be Walcott, and it could be Balassi as well. So our midfield hopefully is going to look a lot different than it did this season, or the season just gone. So exciting. I've heard rumours of Moise Kean being loaned back to Juventus. Now, I really don't want to see Moise Kean sold. I think he's still young and he still has potential. I don't actually think loaning him back to an Italian club would actually be beneficial, because he came from an Italian club where he was scoring goals. And he's found the English game a problem. So I actually think that if we are going to loan him, I would like to see him being loaned to a Premier League club, one of the lower Premier League clubs, and actually play in the Premier League and get some game time in the Premier League. I don't think that we need to loan him. I think that next season we could, if we've sorted out the midfield, we can. Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin would definitely, be our front two, and then we've got the possibility of using Moise Kean as well. I would like to see him stay. Loaning him kind of makes sense, but I don't think loaning him back to Italy makes a huge amount of sense to me. But we'll see on that one. Whether we sign a right back, or a right midfielder, we're still linked with a few players, a few Italian players. So yeah, this is still at the moment we haven't signed anybody. It's all still rumors. Let's hope that before the season starts, we actually do get a couple of players in. I would really like to see them. I mean, the transfer window doesn't finish until October, but it would be really nice to get a couple of players in before the season actually starts, and so that, especially at least one midfielder, like somebody like Allan in the centre midfield, we really need to sort that out before the season starts. But yeah, exciting. I think it's we haven't bought anybody, but we are still linked, and we're I think that the connections, the links are strong links. They're not simply just paper talk. I think that we are really in for these three players, and I think we'll get at least two of them. The likelihood is going to be Allan and Doucoure. Whether we get James Rodriguez, it would be kind of icing on the cake, I think. So yeah, let's see what the next couple of days throw out, and what comes up. Yeah, that's it from me today. So if anything else comes out in the next 12 hours or so, I'll make another video. So I look forward to seeing you on my next one.